Hi everyone, I'm back and it's time for another video. This time I have absolutely no image to work from yet. I've only got a vague idea what I'm going to do with this little glass, but this is a magnificent heavy lead crystal hand-blown shot glass. It's absolutely exquisite and it's not cheap, it's quite expensive, and it is made by Cumbria crystal. I'm going to transform, hopefully, I'm going to transform this into a little mini masterpiece, and probably not something that you would want to drink out of. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. As you can see, a quick little sketch. I have used a non-permanent little marker which actually comes off very easily. And here I am starting with a very small Dura white, very roughly going over my outlines. This is simply a face which I have completely made up, and I have roughly embellished the entire glass, including around her face, with all sorts of leaves and lilies and swirls and all sorts of things. And that may change as I go over it. As I say, this is just a small Dura white, so that the outline is not very bright. I know it's looking bright here, but it's not really. It's just more the dust that you are seeing. I have sketched it bit by bit, piece by piece, a little bit on one side and a little bit on the other side, and roughly creating something similar, symmetrical, but I have not measured. I have made no effort whatsoever to make it absolutely symmetrical. It's just roughly so. I mean, as I have speeded up this video ever so slightly, but I literally drew it with the pen at about this pace and just made it up as I went along, because it doesn't matter. It's just going to be full and it's going to be busy. There you are. As you can see, there's so much going on. And I will probably add to it once I've engraved all this. Now, I started off with a medium-sized diamond burr. This is a sintered diamond, so it's diamond grit all the way through, but that doesn't matter. You can use an ordinary diamond burr. And I started off dry because I wanted to experiment with the quality of the glass. Well, this crystal is absolutely beautiful, but I decided to go straight ahead using water. I'm starting with the forehead, and I'm going relatively deeply, and I will be engraving deeply all the areas that stick out furthest. And that is how it works with glass engraving. The deeper you go, the more it looks like it's coming out. I went a little bit too deep there, really. That can be more shallow there. But you want to go nice and deep for the nose, and especially the point of the nose, because that's going to be what's sticking out more than anything else. Now I'm not going too deep at this stage on the lips, just a little bit deep, but I realize of course that my burr is slightly thicker than it should be for such a delicate area, so I will go back and revisit that with a smaller burr. Now, producing the eyeballs without making them too deep, in other words popping out, you don't really want eyeballs that are popping out the head, but you want to have that nice gentle curve of the eyeball. Now you'll just have to excuse me for the moment because I do this funny little thing between the nose and the lips, which is actually at the moment still missing the middle piece, so my dear face looks like a cat for a while. Obviously there's more shape to the face down the sides, where the cheekbones are, and this will be a little bit exaggerated on this lady. I say a lady, but it may not be a lady. I'm working with various size diamonds. Obviously this is a small diamond again. And I think I changed the diamond there. Working on the eyelids here. Now the eyelids need to protrude further forward, or rather backward, than the eyeballs. Got some very rough eyebrows at the moment. And a much smaller diamond, and I'm just creating some rather droopy bottom eyelids. And a little bit of texture on the lips. Back to the larger diamond and creating more around the face. A little bit deeper on the chin, because of course the chin is going to protrude slightly. And anything else, any other area, fill it in, but ever so lightly. So you are maintaining all the undulations in the right place. Very, very gently, just up to the edges. And you can already see a nice shape within this otherwise just a white area. But it's quite clear to see what's going on. And that's because the light is picking up the edges. Now I've got my faithful white tack, which I'm going to have a quick look. And it's getting there. It's not that great. but you can see very clearly what you have to do. It just is an easy way of checking your contours. Just another quick check. You can see that one eyelid, the bottom eyelid, could have done with a little bit more. And I've still got my silly cat face going on. It's funny how sometimes your brain has a loose wire in it and you just don't notice something. And I do add, of course, that later on. Now I've got a Dura White and I'm very lightly creating a darker area. Of course, all the Dura White does is smooth out the diamond work so that here you see get a little rubber out, and that rubber will go over and polish out the Dura White. Now you can see the little sparkles in the eyes, and that was my plan, was to have the face lower down, because the light at the base of the glass itself, where the heavy base starts, it picks up the light all the time, and I thought that would be a good area to put the face, because you're going to be able to see sparkles in the eyes coming from the shiny base. Here I want to just slightly sharpen this little rubber burr, and I'm putting it on the back of a stone burr, as I just want to be able to go into the eyebrows a little bit more. These are serious designer eyebrows, or they probably need seeing to. I'm going to be making them a little bit thick. Here is another rubber. This is just a soft grey rubber, just going around the edges a bit, and I'm looking at the shape, and I know I wanted it a little bit extreme, but it is a little too extreme, so I'm thinking at this point that I'm going to definitely widen the bottom half of the face, which I do just now. I've got a rat's tail diamond burr here, and I've just added a couple of sparkles and adding a bit more shading with the grey rubber. At this point I decided to add my neck. Now I'm not going very deep because the neck is in the background, so this is quite shallow engraving, and I'm just adding some sort of finish on the bottom and very lightly filling it in. Now it is a little bit streaky at the moment, that's just what the diamond effect is doing, and I'm going to be smoothing that out a little bit with a green stone. No harm in if you want to keep it streaky. I do like seeing texture, you know me, I don't want it necessarily to be super smooth, but here you can see I'm just smoothing it out a bit. And in fact I go back later off camera and smooth it out a little bit more. Now the soft grey rubber again, and just adding some shading underneath to push the neck back a little further. I'm just softening there. I could be using a smaller green stone than this one. It's a little bit big and bulky for this area. But you know me, I go like a bull in a china shop most of the time. Looking pretty neat. As I say, I don't know whether it's a male or a female. And I'm still got my silly cat face. Don't worry. Oh, dearie me. It's just hilarious. I was having a funny day. There was no internet and my phone wasn't working, and I had customers I had to speak to, and so I was in quite an irritated mood. And so it's just so funny. It's something so obvious, and I was still getting it wrong at this stage. Anyway, I'm still playing with the eyes, and I rubbed it out a bit and added some more sparkle, and I'm going to rub that back a little bit more again. Now, as I said, you are getting the sparkle through the shiny bit of clear glass, but I do like to just add a hint of sparkle by hand for those occasions where maybe the light is a bit dull, and it just helps. Right, I want to flatten the top of this Dura White with the side of a stone burr, and I'm just putting a little bit of texture into the eyebrow area. Bit of rubbing back and forth and a bit of Dura White, and you play with it. Don't forget, we are painting. We're painting with diamonds, that's what I call it. And back and forth and back and forth. And I'm still faffing around with the sparkle. Oh dear. This is a lovely, really large sintered diamond that is very fine. And then going back a bit again with the green stone. Excuse the camera. Now I'm going over the neck area with some jewelry, and I had sketched it in, and obviously I went right over the sketch when I put the neck in. It doesn't matter, you can just play it by ear. Just a variety of blobs. And I've gone back to my nose again for some reason. And the eye. It's funny how you're going along and you just keep spotting things. Now I've got my head in the way, so I do apologize for that. I haven't done that for a while, actually. And here I am thickening the face ever so slightly. I decided that this person needed to eat a few more hamburgers. It looks a little bit better. Now this grey rubber, I'm just going around the edges. It's funny how you can see it so much better when you're looking on the screen than in real life. I'm seeing it bigger here. When I say better, I mean you can spot more that you need to do. This is a small green stone, so I'm just going over some areas to smooth them out a little bit. And you can even use the grey rubber by hand. Still not sure how I'm going to finish the directly above her forehead. I reckon there'll be quite a lot of hair. This is, sorry it's out of shot, but this is a very tiny little diamond wheel, which is cut. I cut vertically into the round engraving and then across. So it's produced quite a nice little necklace. Just a little Jura white to soften these beads. And of course the Jura white is not going to be able to reach into the wheel, this little tiny wheel, what I've engraved with it, so that will remain white. Most endurable, and I can't wait to get on to part 2 of this beautiful exotic shot glass. Thanks for watching, guys. Until the next one, bye for now.